You were chosen by heaven, and today everything will change forever, not by accident, not by chance, not because you searched for this video, but because this video was aligned to find you. Out of billions of moments, billions of timelines, billions of possible paths, you are here, right now, reading this. And something inside you feels it. A tension, a curiosity, a quiet recognition that this is not random, that you were guided, that you were pulled, that unseen hands have been rearranging pieces of your life for longer than you realize. You have felt different your entire life. Even when you tried to blend in, even when you tried to shrink yourself to fit rooms that were too small for your spirit, there was always something watching over you, something waiting, something preparing you. And today is not the beginning of your story. It is the moment the veil lifts. It is the moment you understand that the pain had purpose, the delays had meaning, and the silence was not abandonment. It was positioning. If you feel a subtle pressure in your chest right now, that is not fear. It is awakening. Because once you hear what comes next, you will not be able to go back to who you were 5 minutes ago. The old version of you ends here. The chosen version begins now. The pattern you couldn't see. All your life, events have been unfolding in a pattern too precise to be random. The people who left right before you were about to settle. The opportunities that collapsed right before you were about to grow comfortable. The unexpected turns that forced you into unfamiliar territory. At the time, it felt chaotic, unfair, confusing. But chaos is often the surface layer of divine order, and what felt like loss was often protection in disguise. Think about the moments that almost destroyed you. The betrayal you didn't deserve. The rejection that humiliated you. The delay that made you question your worth. You survived them. Not barely, strategically. As if something invisible calculated exactly how much pressure you could endure without breaking. As if every hardship was measured, controlled, allowed, but not enough to erase you. That is not coincidence. That is calibration. There were crossroads where one small decision could have led you somewhere darker. One text sent, one invitation accepted, one impulse followed. And yet, something held you back. Something interrupted the spiral. You called it intuition. You called it luck. But intuition is often instruction, and luck is often unseen intervention. The path you avoided was not meant for you, because the path you are on now required you intact, aware, and ready. And readiness is not comfort. Readiness is refinement. You were refined through pressure, through silence, through isolation, through being misunderstood. You learned to stand alone when others walked away. You learned to trust your inner voice when no one else believed you. Every lonely season strengthened a muscle inside you that cannot be seen but can be felt. A spiritual resilience, a quiet authority, a frequency that not everyone can carry. Here is the twist you never considered. The delays were not slowing you down. They were synchronizing you. While you thought you were behind, other pieces were being positioned. Other people were being prepared. Other events were aligning. Heaven does not rush. Heaven orchestrates. And orchestration requires timing so precise that from the human perspective, it looks like frustration. But frustration is often proximity to breakthrough. Right now, something is accelerating. You may not see it yet, but you feel it. The restlessness, the sense that you cannot remain where you are, the subtle knowing that the version of you who tolerated less is fading. That is not random emotion. That is activation. Because when someone is chosen, there comes a moment when the preparation phase ends and the unveiling begins. And this is where it becomes personal. You were not chosen to remain hidden. You were not protected all these years just to repeat the same cycles. You were not refined through fire to stay small. The reason your path felt harder than others is because the calling on your life required endurance, required depth, required awareness. And not everyone is built to carry what you are about to step into. Pause for a second. If even a small part of you feels exposed right now, seen, understood, almost as if these words were written directly to you, that is because they were. This message does not resonate with everyone. It cannot. Selection is not universal. It is specific. And specificity feels intimate, almost unsettling. But this is only the beginning. Because in the next phase, the sign will no longer be subtle. It will be undeniable. And when it appears, you will have two choices. Step forward into the version of yourself that heaven prepared, or retreat into familiarity and wonder forever what could have been. And something tells me, you didn't come this far to turn back now. The sign you can no longer ignore. It will not arrive the way you expect, not with thunder, not with a voice from the sky, not with lightning splitting the horizon. The sign will arrive quietly, almost casually, so subtle that only someone who has been prepared, like you, will recognize it. And when it happens, you will feel it before you understand it. A shift in the air, a sentence that hits too deeply, a door that opens without resistance. And in that moment, something inside you will whisper, "This is it." Pay attention to repetition in your life right now. Repeating numbers, repeating themes, repeating conversations, the same message delivered through different mouths. That is not randomness. That is confirmation. Heaven repeats what it does not want you to miss. Again and again and again, until you stop dismissing it as coincidence. Here is where it becomes intense. The sign may not look like opportunity at first. It may look like disruption, a sudden ending, a separation, a job shift, a relocation, a truth revealed. Because transformation rarely enters politely. It rearranges, it removes, it exposes. And when exposure happens, it feels uncomfortable. It feels destabilizing. It feels unfair. But removal is often protection wearing a disguise you do not immediately recognize. You must understand this. When you are chosen, comfort becomes dangerous. Comfort slows you. Comfort convinces you to settle, and you were not selected to settle. So the very thing you thought was security may begin to feel unstable. Not to punish you, to move you, not to hurt you, to elevate you. This is the twist. The sign is not something new entering your life. The sign is something false leaving it. Read that again. The breakthrough you are waiting for may arrive disguised as a loss. The prayer you asked for may begin as an ending. And if you misinterpret the ending, you will resist the very miracle designed for you. That is why this message found you before the shift fully unfolds. So that when it happens, you remember these words. You remember this feeling. You remember that you were warned, not of danger, but of destiny. Right now, you may already sense it. A tension building, a chapter closing, a conversation that feels final even if the words have not yet been spoken. Do not panic. Do not cling. Do not chase what is trying to exit. When something is meant to stay, it stays without force. When something is meant to leave, no amount of control will secure it. And here is the most personal part of all. The sign is calibrated to you, not to your neighbor, not to your friends, not to the thousands of others who might hear this. To you, your fears, your hidden desires, your silent prayers. The thing you asked for at 2 a.m. when no one was listening. That request was heard. But the answer requires a version of you who is no longer afraid to expand. Expansion feels like uncertainty at first. It feels like standing at the edge of something unfamiliar. It feels like losing your footing. It feels like stepping into air before you see the bridge. But the bridge appears after the step. Not before. Always after. Faith is not comfort. Faith is movement. And here is the hook you cannot ignore. If you reject the sign, life will become louder. Whispers become nudges. Nudges become disruptions. Disruptions become collapses. Not because heaven is against you, but because it refuses to let you remain beneath what you were designed to carry. You asked for change. You prayed for elevation. You begged for clarity. Clarity sometimes arrives by removing confusion entirely. So when it happens, and it will, pause before reacting. Observe before resisting. Ask yourself, is this being taken from me, or is it being cleared for me? Because once the clearing finishes, acceleration begins. And when acceleration begins, everything moves fast. Faster than you expected. Faster than you planned. Faster than you feel ready for. But readiness was never about feeling prepared. Readiness was about being chosen. And you were. The moment of unveiling. Everything you have been waiting for, consciously or unconsciously, is arriving. The moment of unveiling is not gradual. It does not trickle in. It crashes, it floods, it illuminates. And when it happens, the world you have known will no longer feel familiar. You may look around and recognize the same faces, the same places, the same routines, but nothing will feel the same. You will feel it in your bones, in the rhythm of your heartbeat, in the weight of your own breath. This is the signal. The old has ended. The chosen path begins. The unveiling may start with a simple event, a message, a call, a coincidence that suddenly feels like destiny, a meeting that seems accidental, but nothing is accidental anymore. Every detail has been positioned to guide you to this exact point in time. Every word you overheard, every decision you hesitated over, every fear you conquered, all of it was preparation. And now the preparation has an expiration. The universe is asking, are you ready to step forward, or will you stay behind? Expect the unexpected. Expect the twist. The unveiling does not respect logic. It does not negotiate with fear. It challenges everything you believed about yourself and the world. What you thought was stability may shift. What you thought was certain may crumble. What you believed about what is possible may be rewritten entirely. And when that happens, you may feel unsteady. You may feel exposed. You may question whether you are strong enough. That questioning is proof. You're exactly where you need to be. Now listen carefully. The unveiling is intensely personal. It will speak directly to the deepest parts of you, the ones you rarely show, the ones you sometimes deny even exist. It will touch the dreams you buried, the longings you pretended were impossible, the fears you thought no one could ever understand. It will feel intimate, as if every word, every moment, every signal was designed just for you. Because it is. Because it has always been. And here is the final piece before the climax. The unveiling is not just about receiving. It is about acting. You cannot passively witness this moment and remain unchanged. The moment demands movement. The moment demands courage. The moment demands that you step into the unknown fully, even when the next step is invisible. Heaven chose you. Now it waits for your response. Every choice you make in this phase will ripple. Every hesitation will echo. Every leap will accelerate the path that has been waiting for you. This is the awakening you have sensed for so long. The awakening you have felt in restless nights, in sudden insight, in inexplicable déjà vu. The awakening is real. The awakening is here. And it begins with you. The transformation. The moment has come. The veil has lifted. The signs have aligned. Everything you have been prepared for is no longer ahead. It is here. Transformation does not announce itself politely. It does not wait for comfort. It arrives fully formed, demanding attention, demanding action, demanding surrender. And when it hits, you will feel it coursing through every part of your being, a vibration, a tension, a pulse that reminds you, you are no longer the same. You cannot be. You were chosen, and chosen people are never the same after their calling. Do not resist. Do not question the process. Resistance only prolongs the cycle. Questioning only delays the momentum. The transformation requires faith, not blind faith, but the kind that comes from knowing deep in your soul that every past hardship, every sleepless night, every moment of doubt was calibration for this exact moment. You were honed, refined, tested, and now the fire is ready to ignite. The fire will burn away hesitation, fear, and limitation. It will reveal the strength you always had but never fully trusted. Expect shifts that will shock you. Relationships will change. Opportunities will appear out of nowhere. Insights will come in flashes, in dreams, in sudden realizations that make you gasp. What once felt impossible will now feel inevitable. What once felt like coincidence will now feel like design. And you will understand something you could not grasp before. This transformation is both liberation and awakening. Liberation from the chains you never realized were there. Awakening to the purpose you have been denied too long. Here's the final, most personal truth. Transformation is not just about the world around you. It is about you. The version of you that existed before this moment is ending. The version that emerges will carry clarity, power, and vision. You will see patterns others miss. You will understand messages others overlook. You will feel connections that were invisible before, and everything will accelerate. Because once you step fully into your chosen path, hesitation no longer has a place. Delay no longer has meaning. Fear no longer holds sway. And now, the ultimate hook. The world is waiting for the you that has been hidden. The world is waiting for the impact only you can make. Heaven has chosen you. And now it demands action. Not tomorrow, not later, today. The transformation is unstoppable. The transformation is undeniable. And it begins with the choice you make right now, to step forward fully, to embrace your destiny, to rise as the one you were always meant to be. Do not look back. Do not doubt. Do not hesitate. The old world is gone. The chosen version of you is here. And from this moment on, everything will change forever.